It's going to be awful difficult to get a lob over either one of these two players. He's a good athlete anyway, but with that long reach.
Bright student in high school, graduated and qualified for the university, which is saying something in Germany. It's not easy.
The only one of the German players who is a high school graduate.
And whether he flaunts that or whether others are envious of the education, make fun of it. Egghead comments, that sort of thing.
40-15.
And he perhaps has separated himself from his German colleagues in the same regard, likes to talk about his intellectual interests.
Well, I guess there is a lot more to life than just playing the tennis anyway, isn't there? And
I hope so.
If he's into that, then...
Ooh! Second ace for Stich, and he leads 3-1.
Stich leads 3-1. First set.
Favorite actor is Clint Eastwood. Most aces in the tournament. There you are. 5 more than Stich is Becker, with David Wheaton finishing with 82. And a big championship for him. We'll be chatting with him later.
All of 15.
Well, Stich is picking up this return so quickly. Catching the ball well in front of his body, keeping a good firm grip on the racket.
I would think Becker will start going to his forehand a little more.
I think he better soon.
Net! All.
Well, he tried to run around this return, tried to move a little bit, moving to his right. The ball jumps into his body. It's also tough to play a topspin return from that high and close to your shoulder.
Oh!
15-30.
Well, Stich seems to be picking up everything so fast. Lunges out, catches the ball, able to whip it cross court.
Well, we advised serving to the forehand, didn't we? And that was a good serve.
What do we know about hockey? If Stich is successful as the number 6 seed, it'll be the first time that seed has won Wimbledon since 1975.
Oh, Jimmy Connors remembers that one.
Arthur Ashe was seeded 6th.
Sorry, Jimmy.
No, that's okay. Stich gets the return good and low. Becker has a tough half volley here, but Stich has a chance to go either way with that very wristy action. Even though it's a high-risk shot, he's able to whip the ball cross court. Notice how low he stayed to the ball. He was down, his whole body leaning forward.
And that old theorem, you try to keep the ball low to the big, tall guys. Denying that. So that break point opportunity gone. Favorite singer is Phil Collins. Didn't he have a song Against All Odds, Phil? Yeah, that's 33-1.
33-1.
Cousin Phil. Hope his old man bet some of that 33-1.
Advantage Becker.
Yeah, the flow of this match indicated by the early winners. Stich has 12 already. Becker only 2.
Stich getting every return in play this game, making Becker play the shots.
Game Becker.
Well, early in the fortnight, it seems like Wimbledon will be forever, and here we are, final day. That roof will have a new look next year. When we come back, they're going to take out all. They're going to lift the roof, take out the pillars, and improve the sight lines.
Are they going to add more seats, though, Dick?
There hasn't been talk of that, but I'm sure there'll be a temptation to the All England Club.
13,107 it seats now.
This is the smallest stadium of the 4 Grand Slams.
Right.
The largest being, but is
I think Flushing Meadow.
Flushing Meadow?
Yeah. 21,000 they can get in there.
Paris, Roland Garros around 18,000. How about in Australia now, Bud?
I think it's around 17. I've only been there once, so I couldn't be accurate on that. This place was hit by a German bomb in World War II. Now we got a couple of bombers.
Second service.
But Boris never, you know, the very apt nickname for him right away was Boom Boom. He said, please, no, I want no references to shooting or anything in my nickname. Boom.
Love 15.
good second serve. Becker jumps on it inside the baseline. It's a good half volley or volley by Stich, but it wasn't with enough pace. It gave Becker the chance to run around and play his big forehand.
And there's the other wing.
Love 30.
Well, it was an off-speed second serve. Throwing as a first one by Stich, and Becker read it perfectly.
Two service winners here to give him 5. Stich with 12.
Stich should have taken that volley out of the air. Gives Becker a time to hoist the lob. Stich will remember this. He hits his overhead and just stands there, not prepared for the ball to come back.
Didn't shut off the line, and 3 break points to Becker. First time we've had a point with over 5 hits in it. We won't have any rallies today, unless we define them as anything over 3 strikes of the ball.
I quite enjoyed that last rally.
Second service.
So even you would like to see more hitting in the men's game.
Well, I'd like to talk a little bit about that during the program if we could.
Boris Becker breaks back. It's 3-all.
3 games all, first set.
Well, I was busy this morning. I was talking to Stich's coach. I was talking to Becker's coach and Tiriac. And this is one thing that Thomas Schmidt said that Becker had to do. He had to move up on the second serve and take the ball well inside the baseline. Because once the ball hits off the grass, it has a tendency to move away from the player.
So 3 terrific service returns earns Becker the break. Just as it was Stich in the opening game of the match, who seemed right on Becker's serve to gain the early break. 3-all.
15 love.
I remember the first time I saw Stich very well. It was in Paris 3 years ago. I went out to a back court to see a friend of mine, Roger Smith, a Bahamian who played for Ohio State. I didn't know the name Stich, and I went out there, and this guy was playing serve and volley, and so was Roger. They had no idea they were on a clay court, but Stich looked pretty good.
That serve and volley style of his took him to the semifinals of the French Open this year also.
That's 9 straight points now for Becker, since he wiped out a break point against his serve in Game 5. First double fault.
30-15.
Not only is this the first all-German final at Wimbledon, it's only the third all-German final at any men's tournament in the last 18 years. Becker faced countryman Karl-Uwe Stich in the final at Brussels last year. Then you have to go all the way back to 1973. A Berlin championship between Hans Pohlmann and Karl Meiler.
Hans Pohlmann is doing radio back to Germany today, and Karl Meiler was one of Stich's first coaches. And in fact, he's the one who convinced Nicky Pilic to put Stich on the Davis Cup team.
30 all.
Here's Pilic, the German Davis Cup coach.
A Yugoslav, although he has a German passport, which is required by that country to captain the team. They've won it twice under him.
Wonder who he's rooting for today.
It's a hard one for him, probably. He'd like to have a tie if he could.
Although he and Becker did not end their relationship totally amicably. He felt that Becker didn't quite want to work as hard as he intended him to. They parted ways rather quickly, didn't they?
No!
No.
They
Second
didn't
double
stay together
fault.
very long, but that's contrary to what Bob Brett, who was his coach before Pilic, Nicky Pilic said, that Becker was really working hard, and I did see him in a couple of tournaments. He'd be out there playing 2 and 3 hours a day and really going through the grind. It'd be interesting to talk to Nicky to see just what kind of program he wanted Becker to be on.
So Becker now coached by Thomas Schmid. So that double fault gives Stich a chance to take the lead again.
Now, Stich said that when he had an opportunity such as break point, he had to go for it. He wasn't going to let off. See if he does here.
So Becker broken again, and Stich leads 4 games to 3. Welcome back to center court. Dick Enberg with Jimmy Connors and Bud Collins, and also joining us in our NBC Wimbledon studios, 22-year-old David Wheaton, who had a sensational Wimbledon. Congratulations. Thank you for joining us, David. We'll let you talk us through this next game. Any early impressions?
Yeah, I think I'm very impressed with how Michael Stich came out. He looks very comfortable on the court. For playing his first Wimbledon final, he looks like he's really into it. Boris seems to have given the last game there with 2 double faults because Stich had a big chance to go up in the first set, but with 2 breaks going up 4-1. But fortunately for Boris, he got it back, but then he just gave the last game away. So they both look comfortable, though. I'm impressed with how Stich's handling it.
And David, you can see how easy Becker is to break.
Oh, you can't get away from Collins. They're playing this game. They start with new balls. 3 breaks in 7 games today, and only 3 in 80 games in the entire semis. How do you figure it?
I think maybe Boris got a little nervous last game. getting the break back and maybe lost a little concentration. But I think he'll probably get it back right here, try to get a break right back. But Stich looks like he's serving pretty well.
And with the new balls, the balls move through the air a lot faster, come off the court, quicker and lower.
30.
Definitely, the new balls are a huge advantage when serving.
Michael Stich, 4-3, 30-15, opening set.
Well, Stich showing that he's more than just a power player. It's a good second serve. He gets in close instead of playing the ball deep to give Becker a chance at a passing shot. Plays a little delicate drop shot.
Stich has a very well-rounded game. He can really hit all the shots.
You played against him, Dave?
I've played him numerous times in doubles, and he can have a combination of finesse and power. And the great thing about his serve is that it's very accurate, not just powerful.
He holds. Stich leads 5-3.
Stich leads 5-3.
Bjorn Borg won this title 5 years in a row. He had great ground strokes, but he also improved his serve and volley, but his best volley was the one that landed inside the service line. That's a chewed up area. The ball hits and dies in a hurry. Not to say that he wouldn't have won it if he didn't have that shot, but that just helped him.
He blocked
vary
the
his
ball
game.
and it went in that area.
Love.
Well, Becker lunging and diving, doing what he does best.
There's a saying among the players that sometimes the worse volleyer you are, the better you do at Wimbledon, because they all fall short and the ball never bounces. But that may not be true in Stefan Edberg's case.
Well, I'd like to talk to Leo Levin and see how many returns Michael Stich has missed just in this first set. He's getting every ball in play, forcing Becker to make tough half volleys and getting his racket back prepared. And
Stich's best passing shot is also down the line off the backhand. He'll go there time and time again.
But as David pointed out, it's such a controlled stroke.
our statistician Leo Levin says he's missed only 5 returns in this first set.
Double fault, number 3.
15-30.
The best Becker emoting we heard was in Paris when young Todd Woodbridge took him to 5 sets.
This is Becker's way of getting himself to concentrate, though. This is not him getting down on himself. This is him getting himself into the match.
15-30. David, in your match with Becker in the first set, he yelled at you for moving around too much, distracting him on his serve, felt that that was not legal. It is, but it did seem that you didn't bounce around as much afterwards.
Well, I didn't want to actually, if I was actually disturbing, I didn't want to, continue to be if he thought I was lacking sportsmanship or something. But basically, that's allowed, and I wasn't trying to distract him. He just had a little gripe. I don't think he was serving well. Maybe he was a little nervous. That could be the reason.
Well, that's very gentlemanly of you. I think I'd have gone the other way and tried to move a little bit more.
Of course, I didn't say that to him when I said something back, but.
Well, can you let us in on what you had to say there? Hit the net as you walked up?
I just asked where we were going to go out to dinner that night.
The boxing ring.
Becker in a must game, 3-5, 40-30.
First service. Game
First
Becker.
base, 5-4 in the first. Now we pause for these words from your local station. This all German final, and we come down to the precious points of the first set, and Michael Stich will serve for a 1-set lead. Bad start, second double fault.
The double faults could be deceiving between both players. They're not just pity-patting their second serve in there just to get it in to start off the point. They're putting a lot of speed and a lot of direction on it.
Whoa. Well, that was not a very effective volley. He just tapped it.
You're exactly right, but
30.
he could have done more with it. He plays it almost right back to Becker.
Boy, he does get great early preparation, doesn't he? Even on a quick move like that. Love 30. Wow. Ace number 3.
Stich throughout this championships has been clocked at well over 120 miles an hour, if I'm correct, Dick.
Becker, too.
And that was one of them.
We'll try to get the radar gun's report on that particular serve.
This tournament, I've had the opportunity to watch Stich serve, and his serve in a way reminds me of the great Pancho Gonzalez, how relaxed and loose and fluent he is.
Yeah, good comparison, Jim.
I'm doing my homework, but
he could hammer it, couldn't he?
Oh.
I don't know what he'd do with these rackets.
And Michael Stich has his first set point. An ally to Becker.
Deuce.
Boris steps in, hits it with good pace. Stich was there. He just lost a little bit of racket control. It's a quick adjustment, especially off the grass.
By Stich.
Advantage Stich.
Well, that was some save. Becker was there in plenty of time. Stich made a move back to the center of the court. Boris took his eye off the ball a little bit. Hit it into the tape.
Stich, full stretch to save it. And earn set point 2. And has it. The first set to Michael Stich. 6-4.
16-4. Second set. Becker to serve.
So Boris Becker broken twice in that opening set.
Rise, please. Ladies and
And
gentlemen, thank you.
Stich, just as he surprised Stefan Edberg, the defending champion in the semis, trying to do the same today against his countrymen. Becker opens the second.
15 love.
Look at the statistics in the first set. Curious to see the serving percentages. Only 43% for Stich, and Becker down under 60. They'd both like to be higher than that. Unforced errors even. Winners +8 Stich. That's the difference. I guess one of the most important statistics on grass is that first serve percentage. Just consistently, you get your first serve in, you win a lot of those points. Second serve, and you're in trouble. Becker just did catch the back of the baseline. Stich wasn't sure, almost appeared he hesitated, hoping it'd go out, and then took a quick swing at it.
That 43% serving brings up a point with Stich. However, he's number 2 in the world on winning points on second serves. Ivan Lendl, 87%. Stich, 86%. Tells you something about his reach, I think, and his mobility.
And his second serve, that he's going for his second serve as he does his first. But from the very beginning of this match, both players were on the returns. Becker served the first game. Stich got every return in play, broke him right off the bat.
Ball's wide, on fault.
Here's an overrule by John Bryson. There was no call. And Bryson, the umpire, says the ball was wide at second serve.
And Becker not arguing.
And Becker.
Becker holds it low. The second set underway. Michael Stich in the lead.
First game.
Welcome back. Live breakfast at Wimbledon, and time now for our Xerox Sports Facts.
Take your seats, please.
Who is the last player to win 3 consecutive Wimbledon gentlemen's singles titles? We'll give you the answer after this game.
Stich to serve.
Boris Becker walking up to kind of replace some divots right in that tee.
This is one of the reasons this tournament is so difficult to win.
Uh-oh, we got a problem here. A fan standing up on top of the scoreboard across the way.
At Wimbledon first.
And while that might be common in America, that is not British at all, and he will be quickly escorted out of here. And instead of the fans, we're often in America Stadium where they boo the officials, here they cheer them.
There was a similar incident, about 15 years ago. A very conscientious man named Dennis Brutus, a South African, who disrupted a match that Cliff Drysdale, was a South African, now a U.S. citizen, a television commentator, was playing over on court 2. It was a protest against apartheid, and Brutus had a lot of sympathy, got a lot of sympathy for that, and he was rushed off, but he had made his point.
And so does Stich with his 4th ace.
15 love.
I gotta laugh. I've been coming here 20 years. Never seen anything like that.
I thought he was going to yell, Jimmy,
Yeah.
Jimmy. Someone left over from last Sunday.
Oh. Now Becker hits a change of pace shot here. Catches Stich planted in the ground here. He just rolls his racket over the top. Stich thought he was going to hit it with power, but at the last minute, good racket control.
Well, we've been measuring with the IBM radar gun
30-15.
the speed of the service of these two men, and as you might have figured, there's the radar gun located immediately behind the server on the wall where the cameras are located. Stich 121 miles an hour, Becker 121. They're both averaging 110. Whoa, I bet bet that one was over 120, and it didn't bounce at all. Number 5.
40-15.
Hate to make my living trying to hit those.
Ooh, what a half volley.
Yeah.
One game all.
1-all in the second. Michael Stich in the lead. Who is the last player to win 3 consecutive Wimbledon men's singles? He won more than 3, didn't he?
I don't think he can stop at 3.
Bjorn Borg started in '76, his 5th in a row in 1980 in that classic with John McEnroe. And we're going to have a very special feature on the great Swedish player Borg. All of us hoped or wondered if he could come back this year. Some thought maybe here at Wimbledon. He had promised he would play here. We'll give you a full rundown on an excellent feature on one of the greatest players I've ever seen.
We've talked about that serving meter, and I wonder if the technology, it must have improved, because years ago, with wooden rackets, Colin Dibley was timed at 148 miles an hour in 1974.
Ooh.
So I don't know whether it was imperfect equipment in those days. And a British player, Mike Sangster, the late Mike Sangster, was timed at over 150.
So was...
And Pancho Gonzalez was timed up there, too. So it may be that this is more accurate equipment, because I can't believe that they're slower with these rackets.
Now with what these rackets are being made of and the size of the head. Ooh.
Stich joins in the applause for that shot.
40 love.
Becker low, keeps moving in close to the net. It's awful good touch.
Game Becker.
At love on serve, 2-1.
Becker leads 2-1, second set.
Center court Wimbledon, built in 1922 by King George V. He wanted to move here. There'd be more seats to see a couple of great stars of that era, Bill Tilden, Suzanne Lenglen.
Well, Suzanne was really the one who, because she came year after year after year, and she so enthralled people with her thighs that they wanted to see Suzanne. You know,
her eyes, you say?
Well, no, that's not what I said. She was the queen of Thailand, and they'd never seen anything like that.
Love 15.
Were you here at that time, Bud?
No, I only regret. That's my one tennis experience I regret missing, or not having, I should say. She must have been wonderful.
That's number 6 for Michael Stich.
15 all.
He's catching up with Boris in the tournament, 91-88 now.
He really does have a smooth, easy motion.
He's
just no effort at all.
$15-30.
Well, it's not a good return. He's a little slow getting up there, and then, well, I don't know if I choose that shot or not.
But as you said the other day, if you made them all, they'd send you to a higher league anyway.
And I don't think there's a higher league than what we have right here.
Second service.
Ace on the second serve, number 7.
30 all. 30-40.
It's a good return. It's a good half volley by Stich, but Becker whips the ball. It's going outside the singles line and curves in.
And a chance to take the lead in the second set. Becker's down a set. Becker leads 3-1.
Becker leads 3-1, second set.
Well, Stich went for a huge second serve. Becker prepared in time. Just kept a good solid wrist, solid grip on his racket.
We talked about Suzanne Lenglen, but 60 years ago, there was an all-German final here among women. Silly Awesome beat Hilda Krawinkel.
Love 15.
Close.
15 all.
But you know all of this trivia, and I just sit here stunned by all the information you have on everyone. Was Silly Austin's nickname Totally? 15 all.
Golly.
15-30.
Well, that was a mishit return by Stich. Caught Becker coming in. He slips a little bit as he goes up. Lost his balance. $15-30, a chance for Stich.
And Becker earning finally a lead here in the second set. Doesn't want to give it back. His first serve percentage continues to be not to his liking, although it is up a bit from the first set, 57%. Just like that, 2 breakers for Stich.
Well, he gives Stich a chance. He jumps inside the line, catches the ball before it gets to the top of the bounce. But here, his backhand, he's set up and prepared so early. Look, his racket's back. His weight's going to go forward as he strikes the ball.
Little hitch in there, so you couldn't tell whether he was going to go down the line or cross court.
Well, that's that wrist he puts in there, Dick. It's a very risky shot, but all the power that he gets off of it is worth it.
2 opportunities to break back.
Contrary to an Andre Agassi style where he gets his racket back, holds a very firm grip, and really gets his whole body into it.
Oh, Becker handled a tough net cord, the timing, able to block it, keep it in play. Saves 1 break.
Well, he handled the net court, but after he's made the shot, he kept moving forward to get control of the net position.
This is where Becker was so tough against Dave Wheaton.
Net!
First service.
About 40 a couple times to Wheaton's dismay, and Becker came up with his best serves. And that's been Boris's reputation right from day one here at Wimbledon. He just has something extra, usually loaded up for 15-40s and 30-40s, as he is now.
Well, that's why he's won this tournament 3 times, Dick. The mark of a great champion is to reach down when you're in trouble and come through with your best stuff. He has proven that on numerous occasions around the world.
Oh.
But the second ball, Stich drills for a winner, and they're back on serve. Some of the scars of Boris Becker's entanglements with the turf, and that's been part of the charm of this three-time champion, the fact that he wasn't afraid to dig out anything, and he's given himself a pep talk now.
Seats, please. Players are ready.
Having the lead, losing it.
I wonder if Boris is
please.
not a little bit disappointed that he's not playing Stefan Edberg out here, that he was prepared throughout the whole championships. Edberg was a defending champion. Then in the semifinal upset by Stich. He's having trouble maybe getting his concentration and his game in order.
Everyone figured it would be 4 straight years, Becker and Edberg. And Stich interrupted that pattern.
That's what Jan Tiriak said. He said, my only worry is that Boris has come to play Edberg, and Edberg's not here. And instead he's playing a Davis Cup teammate for whom he doesn't have an awful lot of regard.
15 all.
Does Leo Levin speak German too?
Well, he threw in a few of those niches there's Tiriak, that we're so familiar with, meaning nothing and done nothing.
First service.
Yeah, he was niched in Paris.
Yeah, he was a great niched afternoon against Woodbridge.
Caught the service line.
30-15.
He's been awful hard on himself this whole championships. Even in the rounds previous, he's been giving himself a talking to. We've talked about McEnroe being a perfectionist and how he does things to bring himself up. Becker's the same way.
$40-15.
This has been a pattern throughout the entire fortnight. Really battling with himself. 40-15. You're live from Wimbledon at 3:15 London time.
Big Stich. 4 games, please.
3-all.
3 games all. Second set.
But Jimmy, aren't all you champions perfectionists? I think that was overworked. People were trying to excuse McEnroe for his behavior, saying, oh, he's a perfectionist.
Well, he is.
Yeah,
sure. Sure. Every time you go out there, you want to, reach your maximum potential. But, Mac is the one that, got the perfectionist label put on him because of a lot of things that he did and what he went through while he was on the court.
New balls. And let's see, after 10 o'clock in the morning in the East Coast, live on Breakfast at Wimbledon, have another piece of strudel and save some for the NBC crew. We're coming home tomorrow.
$15.
Uncle Studley's Breakfast at Wimbledon, he has the kuchen, the coffee kuchen, and he dips it in Kirschwasser.
Whoa.
Fourth ace.
30 love.
Becker's been the champion here 3 times, and Michael Stich is the one that's keeping his cool. Becker's the one that's upset.
Like shouting from the German Alps.
I know what Boris is doing now. I figured it out. He feels that this is a mystical place for him. He's often said that, center court. He's crying out to the gods of center court to rescue him. It's like Siegfried in his Rhine journey.
40 love.
Well, he was broken twice in the first set as Stich took the set 6-4. And Becker got the early break here in the second, only to be broken back. And he's been grumbling since.
Wow,
That should make him smile. His fifth ace. He holds it love. It's 4-3 in the second. Royal box. Duke and Duchess of Kent will make the presentation of the men's championship trophy, the only one of the four. Princess Di here as well.
She knew the TV camera was coming on.
I love that shot yesterday, Bud, when she had her arms almost in an adoring manner, just looking down at the champion Steffi Graf and adoring Graf as she celebrated her championship. And we understand that she is a big Steffi Graf fan.
They're friends, too. Yeah.
So it really was a personal reaction. So Stich, 3-4. One break each in the second. This young 22-year-old with the lead.
$15 love.
Becker in lifetime played 83 grass matches and lost only 10 times.
$15 all.
Well, he gets the stutter step to his right, full stretch.
$15-30.
Becker was smart to let that drop. He was moving inside the baseline after his return. He could have tried to take that out of the air. Let the ball drop and it went long.
First service.
Becker 6'3" and about 190 pounds. See that musculature of his thighs. A powerful guy. Boy, that return had 1540 written on it.
It sure did, but Stich had to dig that one out of the middle. Put a little side spin on it. The ball lands with the side spin. It jets away from the opponent. And Becker, being at full stretch, could not handle it.
$40-30.
What's impressed me to this point about Stich is he is not caught up in the moment. He's gone about his business. He's concentrating. He's working hard on his tennis. This is the Wimbledon final, but he's kind of blocked all that out of his mind.
Game sure has. Ace count now up to 8. It's 4-all.
Well, there is some tension between these guys because Stich,
Second set.
who joined the German Davis Cup team last year and was badly criticized when he lost the decisive match when Germany lost to Argentina. The press was all over him, and that's one reason he's shy of the press. But this year, this man, Nicky Pilic, became Boris's personal coach, and Stich objected. He said, why should our captain be Boris's personal coach? And then when Boris came 2 days late to one of the matches for the training sessions, Stich again objected and said, are we a team or is Boris a special character? Which we know he is. And so there's some prickly feeling between them.
Although after the semis, Becker was very careful in his press conference to note that after Stich had come in to the locker room defeating Stefan Edberg that they gave each other high fives and said, hey, let's make this an all-German final. And he said in the last 11 days, he and Stich have mended some fences and they're better friends.
I talked to a German TV guy. I said, this is great for you. And he said, no, it's not great for us. He said, we like to be against another country. We don't like two Germans in the final.
30 love.
That's interesting. I think most American fans would say we'd like to have two U.S. guys.
Sure. No, he said we like a feeling of confrontation and having. And he said we always want Boris in the final because he's the king.
Becker has 6 aces, 2 less than his opponent.
40 love.
He held at love in the last service game. Started the set at love, so grooving his baseline work.
Game Becker.
Now when we return, it'll be Stich serving, pressure to stay in the set. You're looking down live into center court, court 1 on the far side. Fans out on the promenade on the left of your picture. We're right in that corner, southeast corner, and David Wheaton joins us. He's a few yards away from us at our studios. Give us your report at this stage.
I think it's very interesting in both sets that when Becker has broken back in the first set and actually gone up a break in a second, that he hasn't been able to hold his serve in the following game, and that's a very important time.
9 aces for Stich.
15 love.
That's sort of uncharacteristic of Boris to lose his serve immediately following a break like that.
How about 10?
He's catching up in the tournament ace race. Becker leads 95-91.
Well, you have a big serve, David. Who do you think hits it hardest in the men's game?
I think Goran Ivanisevic has one of the hardest ones. Mark Rossette's been clocked pretty fast. But there's many guys today. I think the rackets have changed the game a lot. I think those older times back in the 50s and 60s at 150, those are sort of the Sid Finch fastball syndrome.
George Plimpton will be pleased for the plug.
Point from 5-all.
Becker took advantage of the only second serve of the game.
14-15.
Stich has held up very well under pressure. In the first set, he served for the set, played a great game. Now serving to stay in the set, he's also playing a great game. He's not concerned that he's playing the Wimbledon final. He's just trying to beat Boris.
Wouldn't you think it means more to Stich to beat Boris than Becker to beat Stich? Except that Becker wants the title, but...
Dangerous situation here, though. If Becker can somehow win this point. Get back to deuce, put a little more pressure on Stich's serve. Becker has that uncanny ability when it gets tight to hit the big shot.
No one knows better than you, David.
And he gets a second ball.
He'll go for a winner here, guaranteed.
A little softball that he threw at Stich, and he was out in front.
Becker hits a good forehand here. Now, I think he should have taken this ball out of the air, and Stich tries a little touch drop volley again. Stich was there. He could have done more with that.
Fault.
Well, Eileen Edwards was sure of her call.
Advantage Stich.
Stich has been really serving his second serves big today. I think he just feels like he has to go for it and hope for the best, and he's been doing it the whole match and been very successful with that.
We talked about that second serve record of his, second best in the men's game, and we're seeing why.
You might double fault a few more times, but the advantage of getting a lot more free points in your second serve is definitely worth it.
Deuce.
Well, once again, a good second serve by Stich, trying to kick it out to Becker's backhand, but Becker wisely stepped in and caught the ball on the rise. Got his return low around the Stich ankles.
First time we've had 2 deuces in a game today.
Advantage, Stich.
Nothing like a big serve, huh?
I wouldn't know. In one way, I marvel at the way these two are serving. It's just they got power and finesse. They move the ball around. But on the other hand, is it fun to get ace 2 and 3 times a game? I mean, is that really good for the game?
Having a big serve, there's nothing more enjoyable than serving a few aces a game. I can tell you that. The game is definitely changing now with the rackets, the faster court surfaces, and it does make the game a little quicker. Some people don't like that.
Well, when you get a double dose of it, I think it's different. Jimmy's saying, get a baseliner, keep some balls in play, and have a contrast is probably more interesting for fans. That's only the 4th time in the match we've had more than 5 strokes
15.
On a point. Well, semifinals, 3 breaks in 80 games, and already 5 today between Stich and Becker. 25% of the service games broken.
They're both picking up the ball so fast on the return, which is the important thing in returning. It seems like their first step is just a huge move to the ball, and they're hitting the ball right in the center of the racket every time.
And Stich on that last return was smart. He took a little bit of the pace off, didn't try to hit it so hard. Got the ball down at the Becker ankles and made a difficult half volley for him.
Hmm. 15-30.
Here's this Boris self-psyching again.
Wagnerian.
Quiet, please. Thank you.
Great play and great movement at the same time by both players.
15-40.
Stich was in command of the point and finally gets it long. And Becker in trouble now. He's already down a set. And here's Stich with 2 chances to break Becker and serve for a 2-set lead.
Time violation.
This is the biggest time in the match for Boris right here.
Code violation warning Becker. Too much time, not for the shouting.
He'll take the warning if he wins the point.
Ooh.
Big shots, big points.
Right on the line, to the disbelief of his opponent. 30-40.
I thought it was deep.
And for Becker, this a huge point.
Biggest of the match, I'd say.
Now, will Stich go for this big return?
So 2 chances for Stich knocked away.
Deuce.
Well, he was stepping in. He's prepared for the backhand from the very beginning. It slid off his racket. He didn't really hit it as firm as he would have liked to.
Didn't quite look like he got his feet in position on that one.
You know that feeling, David.
I saw one too many of those.
Advantage Becker.
Not 1, 5, 10 too many.
Boy, that Becker, you know, I used to say I think he'd been a great tight end in the NFL had he grown up in America. I've changed my mind. You know what he would have been? A relief pitcher. Get yourself in trouble. Come in with men on base, no one out, and pitch out of it.
You just throw heat all day.
Whew. How about that return?
That's pure instinct, pure reaction. That serve from Becker is going too fast, or so fast, there's no time to think.
We're at 5-all, second set. Becker down a set. There's a copy of his last ace, and he now has 8.
Advantage Becker.
Boris's best serves are usually down the middle on both sides, and it's interesting to see that he's gone wide the last few games, and he's been pretty successful with that serve.
That's where he got you, David.
Yeah.
Serving down the middle on the big points.
There's that down the line pass. Perfect feet position. Just went for it. That's what you have to do. Can't give Boris a crack at volleying it.
Well, that's grass court tennis, though. You get the ball in play, you have a second shot at it, you've got to make it. The courts are too fast, the bounces sometimes are too bad.
3-deuce game, longest of the match.
I should clear that up. That's grass court men's tennis. It's different from the ladies' final that we saw yesterday with Graf and Sabatini.
And as time permits, we'll go back and take a look. That was a really thrilling final set between the former doubles partners. Graf winning her 3rd Wimbledon. And there's much more on our Wimbledon coverage as we spend 6 hours with you live.
Advantage Becker.
I think you're going to enjoy, after this match, a look at John McEnroe, an interview with John in depth with Bud and Jimmy, following up on last year's high tech, no fun. Is the equipment becoming too good for this game, creating short rallies, too much power, not enough finesse?
And Becker.
Boris Becker survives a couple of breakers. It's 6-5.
Would you take your
Back
seats,
at center
please,
court, the
ladies and
smallest
gentlemen?
of the show courts for the Grand Slam Championships. The largest, Flushing Meadows, for the U.S. Open in September. The Australian 15,000 and Roland Garros Well, they listed anywhere from 16 to 17.5, but there's never been just 17.5 in for the championships. Now Michael Stich serving at 5-6 with a 1-set lead. Oh, Becker couldn't get back up, but it's wide.
Jesus Christ, there wasn't even close of being out. Ah, come on.
Long 15.
Just because he's standing, I mean, you was watching the whole time to him. You were watching him.
The ball seemed quite out, didn't it?
Well, we're going to try to see right here. Stich was a little slow getting him there. He should have caught that ball a little bit higher, but here Becker is slipping and falling.
Tough to tell.
Tough to tell when that smoke gets in your eyes out there.
Becker looked like he'd taken a punch to the jaw, reeling behind that baseline. Not much footing left.
Stich can't let that bother him if he's going to stay in this set.
Oh. Yep, takes out his anger perhaps, and it shows in his third double fault. That gives Becker love 30. 2 points from the second set. Michael Stich's parents.
Mama Gertrude has gone for the straw.
Oh, what a second serve.
It was interesting, Dick, on that point. Michael Stich walks back to get a ball to step up and serve. He waved off 2 balls. Sometimes the balls get a little heavier, a little fluffy. They don't go through the court as well, so he wanted a lighter one to throw in a big second serve like that.
Get one you don't like, stuff it in your pocket, and keep it there, huh?
And now he wants that same ball. He's played the last 4 points with the same ball.
Yellow in color for the last 5 years. All white for the rest of the history. Oh, so Stich has one emotional lapse after the call he didn't like. Double faulted and then gunned 4 straight big serves at Becker, and we're in a tiebreak, and that's where Michael Stich is at his best. He leads all players on tour with 20 tiebreak wins, 20-12. Boris Becker is 14-7 this year. Both men are 5-2 at Wimbledon. 20-12. TB Stich, not for T-Bone. Tiebreak Stich. Becker trying to even it up. First to 7 by 2. Wow, Becker doesn't miss many of those.
1-0 Stich.
Well, the only thing you can say is Becker tried to play the ball a little bit too close to the line.
Oh, he's in agony today. Now Stich with a quick mini break lead. gets it back.
1-all.
That volleying air by Boris was quite like the shot that began his downfall last year. 5th set, leading Edberg 3-1. And he missed a volley quite like that. Never recovered.
And but
2-1.
that
Stich.
ruined a marvelous comeback attempt by Becker, trying to become the first man last year to rally from 2 sets down in a final since 1927. And he accomplished that for a moment, got into the 5th set and had a break lead and got away. Edberg, who had double faulted for the Becker lead, was a marvelous rally himself to win his 2nd title. 2 points to 1, Stich.
Oh, man. Yeah, the only thing you can say about this return is he just timed it perfectly.
My dad, Arnie, would have called that a Joe Louis punch. 6 to 8 inches.
Three, 2, Stich.
Well, change ends. Stich leading 4 points to 2. He'll serve his other point from the line away from the royal box. Last year at this time, Boris had German Olympic champion Katharina Witt here as his guest. No signs of female friendship there today. And not getting a lot of sympathy or friendship from his Davis Cup partner at the other end.
5-2,
Well,
Stich.
Dick, you said that you changing from a tight end to a relief pitcher. Who would he be compared to? Maybe Al Rabowski?
That's not a bad call. Mad Al.
Stich.
Well, Stich gets a good return. He had to get Becker way low for the volley, but quickly back up, snaps his wrist through. Pretty good movement for a 6'3", almost 200-pound man.
And now 22-year-old Michael Stich has 2 serves.
Stich.
If he can win both points, he will have a 2-set lead.
That is huge. The thing is that his second serve is almost as big as his first. Only he's mixing it up better.
7 points to 4. TV Stich leads by 2 sets. So Boris Becker, as many before him,
Your seats, please.
trying to find some answers, loses the tiebreak to Michael Stich.
Quiet, please.
And there aren't many under that towel.
Third set.
And during that tiebreak, one of those Stich serves
Stich
timed at
serve.
126 miles an hour. So
Quiet,
he
please.
put his foot to the pedal, didn't he? Becker in the same position he was a year ago against Edberg. To win number 4, he has to rally from 2 down. He's talking to his racket now.
Love 15.
Here's the match statistics. Becker's percentage moving up, Stich slightly higher. 11 more winners for the younger German. And look at only 10 unforced errors for him and 8 unforced for Becker. It's been well played. You couldn't get that confirmation from Becker, however.
Love 30.
Well, you know Becker has heart. He's proven that time and time again. Last year here he was down 2 sets to love, as we said. Ended up losing the title in 5, but Stich has to keep his concentration. He is up 2 sets to love in the Wimbledon final. He has to forget he's in that lead and just play his normal game that has got him to this point.
He leads by 2 sets, and yet the points in the match 73-73.
$15.30.
From 2 sets down, 6 big wins for Becker. A couple of U.S. Opens, 2 Davis Cups, the Australian Open, and the French Open. So
Agassi was 2 points away in that cup match in Munich with his own serve.
$30.
Well, if Becker doesn't forget about what's happened in the past and just take care of business at hand, this is going to be over a lot quicker than he would like.
didn't Dr. Freud have an office here in London, Bud?
40,
He did.
30.
He'd have a field day if he were around 1991,
He'd
wouldn't he?
run out on the court with his couch, pushing his couch. Say, Boris, sit right down here. We get this settled. It's a very interesting place, the Freud Museum.
Game Stich.
From love 30, Stich saves. We're underway in the 3rd.
Becker to
There's
serve.
our adopted ball girl, Natasha Tunks, who was injured earlier in the tournament, racing to get a ball and carried off, and we were frightened that she might have broken a leg at the time, and she was dazed and wasn't able to speak for about a minute. It was in an Andre Agassi match, and quite recovered, prettier than ever.
Mm.
$15.
Well, Becker again shows that he's quick around the net, but Stich would like to have that one again, that backhand he had.
Didn't really drill that one, did
Didn't
he?
drill it like he would like. Got up a little bit too high.
Becker fighting some long history. You have to go all the way back to 1927 in a battle in the finals of two Frenchmen when Cochet beat Barotra from 2 sets down, 7-5 in the 5th.
And in the semifinal, he beat Bill Tilden from 2 sets and 5-1 down. And in the quarterfinals, he beat Frank Hunter from 2 sets down. Never been anything like those comebacks. I asked Cochet about it. I thought I'd learn something interesting. He said, I don't understand it myself.
Fourth double fault.
30-15.
4 o'clock. London time, and we're live. Breakfast at Wimbledon. And we have 4 more hours to go here, and much to share with you. And if Boris Becker will cooperate, more match action from center court. If not, you'll enjoy visiting with McEnroe and Borg and Connors and some net chords and much more. And even Sigmund Freud now, I understand.
We have him on the show, yes, by special request.
30-15. Well, there have been some critical points off net chords in this tournament.
And this young man has benefited unbelievably. In the 4th round, it looked as though he was gone to Alexander Volkov. Volkov served for the match 5-4 in the 5th, 30-all. And Stich got a net cord just like that and then broke.
Not only a net cord, but it hit the line as well. And then Volkov just collapsed. We'll show you that point. It was remarkable later.
And I thought it was intriguing in that he lived against Volkov to go on to beat Edberg, and Volkov is the one who beat Edberg in the 1st round at the U.S. Open last year.
Whoa.
30-40.
Well, Boris thinks he can't do anything right. But he's playing against Michael Stich, who is...
He's outplayed him.
Absolutely outplayed him.
I mean, Stich's been the better player. Back to that net cord, which is part of the problems here in this game for Becker. Stich had a critical net cord in a tiebreak against Edberg that led to one of those sets.
Deuce.
Do you have that one in your piece?
Yes, I think I do.
Good.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that again.
And Agassi could have been out in the 1st round, but for a net cord,
So could Navratilova have been out in the 1st round. Reinach
got that one too.
I want to hang around and watch that. That sounds good. But even when Boris does something that he should be pleased with, he's still talking to himself and making it tough on him.
Boy, does he move well, though. A lot of players wouldn't have made a play on that ball. And
he's so quick off the mark, Dick. Wide right away. He's not standing to look where his shot's going. He's on the move. He's anticipating.
He even had the stutter step to get himself in position to make a play.
You could see why he was such a good soccer player.
He's got pretty good sized boots, too. The match began. Stich returning off that backhand wing for winners. That's his 13th of the match.
Well, he's done it well so far all day. He jumps in, has his racket back. He's able to come over the top of that ball to hit with some top spin. I know Jim Courier in his match with Stich in the quarterfinals thought it would be better for him to back up and give himself an extra second to see that serve. On clay, that works, not here.
Except for one man.
Bjorn Borg.
Gee. Boy, did Boris need a terrific volley to get out of that point.
Advantage Becker.
Well, he digs this one absolutely off the turf.
Amazing body control, running forward. Racket almost as a balance. Game to Becker, a struggle.
Game Becker. Full change, please.
Wimbledon 1991 is brought to you by Diamante, the new luxury performance sedan from Mitsubishi, and by Xerox, the document company.
Boris Becker, he's looking for help from anyone. He might even ask Bud Collins, God forbid.
I've got nothing to help him with.
Well, after an hour and 55 minutes, each man with 81 points. But Michael Stich, the server, is up 2 big sets as he goes for his first Wimbledon title and trying to deny Becker his 4th.
Stich, a first-round loser last year.
Who was that to, Bud?
Your old pal who helped make you famous, Mikhail Pernfors.
Oh, all right. That must have been a heck of a match. That's 2 contrasting styles.
Yeah, yeah.
But correct me if I'm wrong, Bud, but wasn't Michael Stich last year a 50 or 60 ranked player?
Yes, yeah. It's come up very fast.
Leaped all the way to number 7. And Boris Becker, by the way, win or lose today, will be the new number 1. He's surpassed Edberg, and Stich has surpassed him with another bullet, his 12th ace. 2-1 in the 3rd.
Seats, please, ladies and gentlemen.
We're back live at Wimbledon. Michael Stich up by 2 sets on serve in the 3rd, and here's our Xerox Sports Facts. Name the last British gentleman's singles champion. This is the British Tennis Championship. Who was the last Brit to win it?
I was an heir. That lost to Pernfors was 2 years ago. He lost to Guy Forget last year in the 3rd round.
Now 15.
The Stich is just striking the ball so crisply. Just every ball is just right in the middle of the racket. On the run, full stretch. That's what wins you Wimbledon titles, or gives you a chance at them.
Just a block.
Well, you said it right, Bud. It's just a block. His racket hardly moves. We've seen that before here.
Just use the other man's power to rip it back.
Boris doesn't have the sting in his volleys today.
Or on his serve.
Yep.
His serve is falling short. It's sitting up there. It's giving Stich an opportunity to step in and really rip it.
You see that bandage on his thigh now. He's won it the last couple of games. And maybe Boris was telling us exactly the problem after playing David Wheaton. The toll has been taken. A lot of play, no rest days. Well, we've seen him dig out of love 40 so many times through the years.
15-14.
He almost better here because he's in big trouble nevertheless. Give Stich a break. 2 hours into the match. Confidence all over Stich's face. Two down. One more for Stich. He had that one for the breaker. Couldn't quite clear the net.
Stich was on that return in a hurry. He also thought it was a little long.
That squeak you hear is the umpire's chair, and the microphone that he uses picking it up.
John Bryson.
Advantage Stich.
Stich once again, look how he's set up. That's what's impressed me most about Stich over the last couple of days. He's there in so much time that he is allowing himself the luxury of not rushing his stroke.
But the volley isn't very crisp.
Short and gives him an opportunity to step in.
That backhand reminds me of Ivan Lendl's a little bit, the way he gets down on it.
Okay, will Stich step in and go for it here?
Ooh.
Ooh, what a second serve.
Look long.
No faint heart for Boris there.
Yes.
Well, if Michael Stich should win this Wimbledon, it's not exactly as if he avoided anyone. He would have beaten Edberg 1, Becker 2, and Courier 4 to do it.
It's a pretty good 2 weeks' work.
That's the 9th ace for Becker.
Advantage Becker.
Well, win or lose here, Stich is surely to jump higher in the rankings.
You understand he'll move all the way to number 4 if he wins. Knocking Agassi a notch below him.
Becker.
But give credit to Boris Becker. Out of love 40 another time. It's 2-all.
2 games all.
And now our sports facts. Xerox Sports Facts answer. The last British gentleman to win the singles champion of Wimbledon. And of course there's his statue on the grounds. He won it 3 times. That's been a long time ago. Fred Perry, 34, 35, and 36. There's Fred. He's a commentator on BBC Radio. Wonderful sense of humor. Saw him last week, if you were with us, in an interview with Bud. The last Brit to make the final was 38, Bunny Austin.
With his wife Bobby is Fred, and his American friends will be heartened to know he was seriously ill, and he's looking better every day now. He had an infected foot.
How old is he, Bud?
82.
Doesn't he look
And
great?
he's still the best British player, I believe.
Ooh.
Even with a bad foot.
Ooh, that's cold, but.
It was a bookmaker for William Hill, legal to bet here before the start of the tournament, who said, we're offering 1,000 to 1 that a Brit will win Wimbledon, and the same odds on the Archbishop of Canterbury confirming the second coming. He said, we got 2 bets at £50 each on the second coming. 13 aces now for Stich.
Well, this is the first coming of Mikhail Stich.
That was a good return by Becker. He kept the ball low. Stich made one heck of a half volley, but was quick to cover the Becker down the line. Just not there fast enough. They played over 2 hours. I don't think conditioning is a factor.
And high quality, too, Jimmy. 11 unforced errors for each. That's it.
Both players are going for their shots, and to keep the unforced errors that low is quite remarkable.
Well, a little training for the U.S. Open overhead. Does that bother you? I mean, hearing a ball being struck is so critical, I would think.
It is indeed. You want to see if they're going to hit the ball flat or with a little spin.
Really bothered Jimmy. He only won 3 times at Flushing Meadow.
Well, I always played it right. I always let the planes come over. Then I rushed and got up there to serve in a hurry.
Game Stich.
It's 3-2. No breaks yet in the third.
Stich lead.
Back live at Wimbledon, Boris Becker with another change of shirt on this hot, humid afternoon.
Seats, please.
Climax of the 105th Wimbledon Championships. It began with the wettest ever Wimbledon. First 4 days, barely any matches played, and trying to catch up. They didn't want to. The All England Club regretted it. Very regretful is the way they put it. They had to play on Sunday, but it became one of the highlights of the championship, and it's one of the many moments we'll share with you as we leave our coverage today. And yet, despite all that rain, when summer finally arrived in July, it got hot in a hurry. They've had to water center court the last 2 or 3 days after play.
I ventured out and played a little bit on the grass this morning, and the sun has really dried the court out. It's very bruised around the service area.
Just behind the tee is the rough.
And because of that, the ball is scooting through a little bit faster, but because of the sunshine, it's bouncing up a little bit higher.
Oh, like hitting him out of his hand.
Yeah, this is the way the last Becker service game started.
Love 30.
Well, Becker just doesn't have the sting on his second serve that we've seen over the last 2 weeks. Also, Michael Stich is reading it very well, moving in and going for it.
Well, we were impressed in Paris watching Stich, but now you get the feeling that he's not going to be just a good player, but having started seriously in tennis at such a late age, 18, one can only reason that he's going to move even more forward. He's just believing he's good.
What a shot to try. Stich would have gotten it. He was on the way.
15-14.
Well, this is too important an event, too important a game, and too important a point here for Boris Becker. I just can't say enough against this shot.
2 more break points for Stich.
He's won this tournament 3 times. He must know what he's doing.
Stich has made good on 3 of 12. That's been enough for a 2-set lead. Becker 2 of 3. But Becker's been in trouble too often. Oh, my!
Great reflexes by Boris Becker. Off an incredibly quick cross-court backhand. Stich just jumps on this backhand, but Becker there didn't even move his racket. Held it dead still, just let the ball pop off his strings.
Stich with another second serve. Well, love 40. Becker gets out, and now from 15-40, 2 more break points saved. That has to make you feel. Is that any consolation, Dave Wheaton?
No consolation at all. Becker seemed this set really to be playing well. He's just coming back from bad situations. He's playing bad to get down, but somehow, you know, recovering himself.
Yeah, but just how many times can he do that? Let's face it, he's living dangerously.
He's right at the edge.
Ooh.
Advantage Becker.
Well, Becker at full stretch. Stich did well to get to the volley.
Now, Dave Wheaton, who joins us, not trying to rub it in, but just showing how tough Becker was. Shut him out on those 10 break chances, and
2 love 40 games.
And he's denied 7 to Stich in this game. In this set, rather. 2 in this game. 3-all. But what a struggle for Becker while Stich continues to apply the pressure. Just hasn't delivered the final knockout punch.
And that's just it. He's kept the pressure on Becker. He's made him play the shots. Becker has come up with the good replies. Stich on the other side of the court, though, has won his serves quite comfortably.
Ace number 14.
15 love.
98-96, the ace race. Becker still a couple ahead for the tournament. Well, he needs to put a couple together.
That's 98 aces for the tournament. 2-week tournament.
7 matches.
I grew up with guys like Eddie Dibbs and Harold Solomon. I think we had 98 through our careers.
For the 3 of you.
Oh, that hurt.
Get a nation, stop the match, go out and have a drink. Yeah.
And throw in your mother Gloria, too.
I would say that my mom was watching with great interest today.
Oh, a loose volley by Stich. One of the few flagrant mistakes or errors in the match for him. Too easy.
Well, it's right where he wants it. Up there high, right at the shoulders. Just took it too casual.
The concentration has to decline now and then. returns for Stich.
I talked to Becker's coach, Thomas Schmid, and he told me that one thing Boris had to do was try to get the ball to Stich's forehand volley.
There's Schmid.
Thomas.
Interestingly, the German-Czechoslovak connection here, Steffi Graf with Pavel Slozil and Boris Becker with Thomas Schmid.
Schmid and Slozil were doubles partners.
(40-30).
I think he played that one just to get his confidence back.
Game Stich.
Stich on serve for 3, leading Boris Becker by 2 sets.
Stich leads 4 games.
Welcome back. We're live from center court at Wimbledon. Jimmy Connors, Bud Collins, Dick Enberg, and David Wheaton in our NBC studios, just adjacent to court 14. Boris Becker fighting to hold serve, hoping to find a way to break Stich down 2 sets.
Love 15.
The last couple service games of Becker, Stich has been flirting with that break.
Love.
Becker has fought.
Easy enough for you to say.
Yeah, tough for me to get that out of there. Well, he did it.
From love 40 and from 15-40, the last 2 games. Ross Schneiderman just scored that an unforced error on you, Connors. First of the match. Even when he misses, he's right on the top of the tape.
15 all.
Hasn't won a tournament this year. A finalist now 4 times. He was runner-up in Adelaide, Sydney, and Memphis. Now Wimbledon, his best Grand Slam showing.
2 tapers. Hitting the ball so well.
This crowd stunned by his performance, and I think they're waiting now, almost quietly, Bud, to see Becker do something. They're ready to really cheer for Boris, but he hasn't given them much opportunity, or should we say Michael Stich has not allowed him to.
Well, that's the way he started off the match. The first game Becker served, he was seeing the ball very clearly, very early.
You're right about the court. Look at the high bounce that he gets there. Three, 4 in the third, 30 all. And another break point for Stich,
30-40.
who has skyrocketed just since '87. Look at the way he's moved up through the rankings. 795, 269, 100th 2 years ago. Last year to 42nd, 7th today, and he'll be 4th if he wins.
He finished his schooling in '88, so he really considered the first year out, and was 1989.
Oh, he's way long on his serves.
3rd Wimbledon. James Scott Connors won Wimbledon in his 3rd.
Oh, that wasn't exactly a sharp volley by Becker.
Deuce.
Just guided it in the corner. And so that's 8 break chances in this set, not converted by Stich, but he's had enough. 3 out of 15, and had enough chances that the 3 allowed him to win the first set 6-4 when he broke Becker twice. They had a break each in the second set, and Stich then won the tie break 7 points to 4 for the 2-set lead.
Just can't buy a first serve.
And that net has to have a headache today. Both players pounding it.
Advantage Becker.
Becker's reflexes are so quick off that net cord. I think Stich thought it was going to jump over his racket.
Easier to throw a racket on grass, I guess. Look at this. That was the reaction off the net cord. Finally gets the first serve. It's 4-all.
Four games all.
Becker in trouble every game, service game of this set. He saved 1 break point in the second game, 4 in the fourth game, 2 more in the sixth game, and just erased another in the last game, and somehow hanging on and
hanging by a ledge.
But headed toward T-Bone's country. Stich the tiebreak man, and as Stefan Edberg would attest,
Stich has had countless opportunities to break serve. He hasn't done it. He's been so close. He has to wipe that out of his mind and take care of business at hand, and that's winning a service game here.
Meanwhile, Becker hasn't had a break point this set.
In fact, the only advantage he had was 15-30 the last game.
That's right. He hasn't even been to a deuce against Stich's serve in this set. And he's over.
30 love. Love.
George Gershwin. He wrote the music, didn't he? I got plenty of niche. But Michael Stich has plenty of something. 15 aces. 5-4 in the third.
5 games to 4 third set. And
Now during the towel off, grab the towel over your head. Doesn't count if the towel's in front of your lips, right, Jim?
I wish I'd have known that.
Time running out on Becker. As this now is championship game for Stich.
Those long legs.
Well, both players with such good reach and anticipation.
Love 15.
Boy, to get to that ball, that looked like a sharp volley winner. Using all 6'4" to put Becker on the spot immediately. Stich, 3 points from a Wimbledon title.
Oh, Boris slipped.
That And with Stich down, Boris misses a much easier shot.
Love 30.
Well, Boris does well here to play this backhand half volley there, but took his eye off the ball. I think he watched Stich fall to the ground.
Quiet, please. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Crunch time for Becker.
Stich 2 points from the championship.
Mm.
His 10th ace. 5 less than Stich.
Becker living dangerously there, missing his first serve. Stich has returned his second serve brilliantly from the beginning.
To make those brilliant plays. Impossible the first shot, and still lose the point, and Michael Stich now at championship point.
Quiet, please. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Let the players play. Thank you.
9th break point this set for Stich. Stich in German means stick. Built like one at 6'4". And a mystery man no longer. Michael Stich, just 22 in this all-German final. And wasn't that a wonderful shot of the two competitors? And Becker is always terrific in defeat, climbing the net to hug his German counterpart and fellow Davis Cupper. Well, a clean forehand return winner. And we have an unlikely champion. 33-1 at the start, and it was 33-1 only because of the French Open. Otherwise been 50-60-1. And Stich impressively 6'4", 7'6", 6'4". He was the better man today.